Now I will talk about the differences between a franchise and a license with case studies. The main difference is that a license arrangement is not regulated, whereas a franchise is regulated under the Franchise Act. And a license arrangement does not require registration. And a license agreement usually is about a right to use an IP right. So a licensor will usually give a license to the licensee to use its trademark, something like that. Whereas a franchise is about the use of the entire franchise system, and the IP rights is only a part of the entire franchise system. So that is the difference to what is being let use. So a franchise is like the whole business system, including the trademarks and everything. Move on. And licensor, generally they do not administer the level of control over a licensee as compared with a franchisor would have over a franchisee. Number 5, parties are free to negotiate on licensing agreement, whereas in a franchise term, there are certain clauses that must be fixed. So then this really begs the question as to why would I then go for a franchise? Why don't I just call myself a license? Right, since the license is like so free and there's no registration. Okay, so I'll talk about that now. You may not pass an agreement which looks like a franchise and then you package it as a licensing agreement just to avoid being regulated. You cannot do that. You cannot just sign a franchise agreement and then just name it as licensing and argue that I am not a franchise, I am actually a licensing agreement. So it is really substance over form. If your agreement is very similar to a franchise, if it fulfills a majority of the conditions to the definition of a franchise, you may be deemed to be a franchise, and thus you may be required to be registered.